Welcome to Connect, powered by the Fulton County Department of Senior Services. I'm your host, Ladisa Onilagu. This show connects you to information, services, and programs that increase awareness around safety, health, and wellness. Why? Because it is what is most important right now, not only to the Department of Senior Services, but to Fulton County government. Intergenerational Connections has always been a part of our society. I'm sure you can recall the days of your youth when you thought that your parents or grandparents were a little outdated. Perhaps you believed that they did not understand the changes that were occurring in modern society. Whether modern for you was the 1940s, the 1960s, or the 80s. Today's youth are no different and echo similar sentiments that we all did when we were their age. However, the importance of intergenerational connections is still relevant and matters even more during this global pandemic. On today's show, we will speak with two guests about the benefits of intergenerational connections through the lens of COVID-19. So stay tuned. We're back and glad to have you with us on Connect. I'm your host, Ladisa Onilagu. Today's youth rarely considers their elders as the go-to source of information. Instead, their first thought is to ask Siri or, hey Google. The lost art of leafing through a dictionary or reading the daily newspaper or even picking up the phone seems to be a thing of the past. Intergenerational connection is about having an open mind and being receptive to hearing and learning. Not only do older adults have information to share, but our youth also have much to offer in return. Our first guest today is Miss Mabel Williams. She is a grandmother of 4 and is the current full-time caregiver of her 16-year-old grandson and her 13-year-old granddaughter. Ms. Williams was employed at Clark Atlanta University for 15 years as the Director of Planned Giving. Ms. Williams retired in 2007. However, her dedication to children did not end. Shortly after retirement, she became a full-time caregiver of 2 of her grandchildren, one of whom has autism. Her career in education and degree in physical education from Morgan State have fully equipped her to handle this important job. Ms. Williams, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
It is an honor, and I have to share with you, I graduated from Clark Atlanta University as well.
Great.
So describe to our viewers what intergenerational connection means to you.
You know, my son had asked me that same question because he wanted to know what the program was going to be like today. And I said, as far as intergenerational, look at it in terms of this is our lifestyle, our family makeup as it is today. I'm one generation, he's one, and then the grandchildren have another generation, which really makes, I think, for a very wholesome and enjoyable family life. And it's such a pleasure to have them here with me.
I love your description of intergenerational, what that means to you. It is important, and it seems as if we kind of lost that in some parts of our society. So it's great to hear that you are a part of a multi-generational, intergenerational family. Ms. Williams, what have been some of the challenges and opportunities that you faced raising a grandson with special needs?
Yes, it has really been an eye-opener for me. In the past, before COVID became prevalent, there were many things that we were able to do that we no longer can do. However, we're looking at the things that we can do, what is really present in front of us. So the main thing is safety, making sure that you keep your hands clean, washing them frequently, and wearing a mask. And it's also important to have your mask on when someone comes to the house to do repair work. So it's always being conscious of the safety. So, so that is something that is totally different from how we were operating prior to the closing of school.
Mhm.
In terms of an opportunity, it's been a tremendous opportunity for me to work with my grandchildren. I really understand now their learning styles, and I can do many, many things with both of them that they had no idea that I was capable of even doing. Matter of fact, when we have remote learning, the physical education teacher wanted to know if I could assist her because I was doing all the exercises that she had been conducting, during the course of every day, which
Okay.
was a pleasure. But one of the things that was um, that we had to do because of the fact that he is in the category of autism, I had to document the work that he was doing, the new skills that he was picking up. So either I did videos of him, took still pictures of him, and
Mm.
every day I would send these off to his teachers. So we developed a really close relationship as a result between the school and my grandson. So it was very, very meaningful.
Ms. Williams, that is so heartening to me because, COVID has been devastating, but there have been silver linings across the board. And I'm glad that you shared just that one example of, I'm sure of which you have many examples of opportunities that you've had to share. Speaking of sharing, what are some memorable moments between you and your grandchildren?
Okay. Since I haven't had time today to talk about my granddaughter, let me share with you. She has a keen interest in learning languages, and her uh, she has a desire to be able to at least speak 5 different languages. Right now, she's presently in taking French. So I had taken French at Clark Atlanta while I was working there. So very excited about taking her to Paris when she's completed
Yes.
her course. So she's very excited about that. And as far as my grandson, we uh, we would do role play. And so one day I was going to be the TV anchor person, and he was going to be interviewed by me. And so this was really good because it gave him an opportunity to speak more and to be able to tell something about himself. And he knew that he was being videoed. And this was so exciting. He couldn't wait until it was over so he could see himself. So a lot of the things that we did in terms of documenting for the school system turned out to really be memorable things for our whole family to be able to share pictures of the children. So it was
I think
very
that,
good.
well, that's wonderful because you are giving examples to people who are watching you right now of what they can also be doing in this very moment, in this space of a pandemic with their grandchildren. Um, One last question. How do you balance the attention that you have to give to your two grandchildren to support their learning experience?
Right, because they are both very different. They're very easy to work with, and that's a real pleasure. Um, my grandson is really eager to learn, and my granddaughter is too, but she doesn't stay as focused as much as he's focused because she has an artistic nature. She loves to draw. So whenever there's a free time, or if the teacher, on remote says, take about 15 minutes and just look over your work, I can see her with a pen and sketching something because
Hmm.
she's always looking forward to creating something. And this, as I said, I'm learning about them. I'm learning about their needs, and I'm trying to adapt to their needs so that their learning can even be more successful.
Amazing. I have thoroughly enjoyed hearing you talk about your grandchildren, how you are helping them with their academics, and just the experience, the overall experience. Do you have any closing thoughts that you'd like to share with our viewers today?
Yes, I would like to share what I have learned while being at home with my grandchildren during this COVID-19. I have gained so many blessings as a result of working with them. First, I've learned their learning styles. Secondly, we do a lot of things together as a family as far as cooking. And this is something my grandson with the special needs, he's interested in cooking. So he prepares his own breakfast. He's also interested in meditation. So in the morning, I do not have to call him to wake him up. He sets his alarm clock and he's able to get up, get dressed, brush his teeth, and then he goes into the kitchen and he likes to be alone for at least 10 minutes. This is the time that he meditates. I used to do a lot of meditation um, in years past. And this is something that I've just passed along to my grandchildren. So they get a big benefit out of that quiet time in the morning. And
Yes.
we come together. So
Well,
I would say to look at all the blessings that you're receiving during this time and just think of it as this is your legacy to your grandchildren. When they, you know, grow older and get married, we will be saying, well, remember in 2020 what happened? And we talk about this.
yes.
And I just think there's so much good to come out of it as as well as the suffering and the hardships
Mhm.
that many of us have to go through. And we're all just very thankful and try to help others as well.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. I'm just so grateful for you being here with us today. I know our viewers have been impacted by your story. So we wish you all the best in your continued learning and development and sharing wisdom with your grandchildren. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. If you've just tuned in, you're watching Connect, powered by the Department of Senior Services. It is wonderful to have a family with multiple generations. It provides an atmosphere of love, bonding, and sharing. Elders share stories of the former days while lighting up as they gaze upon the younger generation that will carry on their legacy. The legacy of learning is important to our next guest, who has a unique story to share with you today. Felicia Church is a former public affairs manager with a broad knowledge of media relations, public information, and public affairs. Additionally, she has more than 15 years of experience as a journalist, with 15 years, as a news public affairs director of WAOK WVEE. As a journalist and news director, Ms. Church received honors, which included awards from the Atlanta Association of Black Journalists, Atlanta Association of Media Women, the NAACP Phoenix Award, Achievements in Radio, AI Air, and the Best Female Newscaster Golden Voice Award. Felicia Church, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you? I've missed being with you all.
Oh, it's great to see you. I think I missed sharing something with our viewers. Well, you were a very significant part of my career here at Fulton County. But more importantly, we missed another reward. You're a grandmother as well. Tell our viewers about your grandson.
I have a 10-year-old grandson, very active, creative like his mom, enjoys basketball, pretty good student. He's a good student. He's an A and B student. It's been a change going to the new way of studying, but he's adjusting and I'm adjusting to a new life.
Right. So COVID-19 hit Fulton County residents economically, socially, and physically. How did it affect your grandson's education, and what did you decide to do about it?
Well, as you know, in March, everything kind of shut down. My daughter took care of his virtual education at his previous school, and I didn't have to worry about it. But he went to a new school as of August. It's been a change, a lot more demanding, but that's great. That's why we put him in the school, because of the extra demands, the greater learning opportunities. And so far, I just love his teachers. They're patient, they listen, they know that it's a challenge because they are also working with students in the classroom as well as virtual learners, as Jaden is a virtual learner. We had to make that decision of whether we wanted to put him in the classroom or have him learn virtually, mainly because of the risk associated to the family, primarily risk to me, as well as risk to his grandfather because of our age. I reached retirement age last year. I enjoyed working with you all, in no hurry to retire, but COVID changed things, and it changed things immensely. And my daughter had to go back to work. So it was to grandma. And that's a great thing because I have spent more time with him in the last, 6 months than we have had to spend his whole 10 years because I've been working. We spend time in the evening and on weekends, and we go places and do things. However, I didn't get that quality time. Now I have quality time with him, and I am very focused on his learning. I am sitting in the room when he's learning. I want to know that what he's catching on to, is he being focused? Because we did have a few challenges with focus initially, of sitting before a computer for hours at a time. And I mean, this school, he's in class till 3. He gets one long break, and then we go out for what the older people would have said was recess.
Yes.
We have recess every day. So he goes out and shoots basketball hoops. And I've even tried a few, but I miss more than I get. So, but it's good to be with him.
This is moving. It's a moving story. I can attest to the challenges. We have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old learning from home. So that focus is critical. But the fact that you have this time, this quality time, to make an impact in a different way than you did before COVID is what stands out to me most. How are you kind of shared how you're navigating through the virtual learning process. Is there anything that you can share with viewers who are in a similar situation that you are, helping their grandchildren learn staring at a computer screen all day long?
It is a different style of learning, very different from what he's used to. He's used to being in a classroom. For example, when they have science, he doesn't have the advantage of teaming with someone. when they're doing experiments. And I'm the runner. I just must say I run from pillar to post to get all of his stuff together, his for his scientific experiments. He participates, however, it's different. I like that teamwork aspect. I think children need to learn that, is how to work with others and how to learn with others. So
Yes.
that's the one part I miss, but we're making the best of it, and he's enjoying. It took a minute there, but he's enjoying it now because he's made that adjustment to learning before a screen instead of being in the classroom. So it has its
Wonderful.
challenges, but it's a blessing, and he's learning. I think it'll teach him how to learn differently when necessary. COVID has caused all of us to live differently, learn
Yes.
differently, behave with others differently, and for some of us, we want to learn how to live in harmony with people. We don't want to have the disconnect that we're sometimes
Yeah.
seeing with
I,
COVID.
I agree. I think that's the strength of who we are as Americans, definitely here in Fulton County. And when a challenge comes, we're rising to the occasion, and you are proving that. Um, Last question. Will you describe some of your tips and strategies to connecting with younger generations?
Well, we give plenty of hugs and encouragement, even when he has a more challenging day, be it math or science. We get help. We're trying to get him to ask for help. If you have a challenge, ask for help. Don't try to struggle alone. We'll get the assistance. For example, one of his cousins assists with him with math.
Hmm.
She's an A student. So they have a great rapport. She's 7 years older than he is, but they have a great rapport. He loves her. She's been able to assist him uh, where he needs it. But I want him to ask for help when he needs it. I want to encourage him when there's a challenge, because the current school is very challenging compared to the previous one. And that doesn't put anything negative against the previous school. We
Mhm.
want him to be college prepared for sure, with
Understood.
a demanding curriculum, because we all know there will be challenges in life and we need to be prepared. And we watched a video together last night, and I can't think of the name of it, but it was a little boy and his dad, and they did the alphabet on opportunities that are available, that you can be anywhere from an astronaut, and I don't know if that's what they said, for A to all the way to Z, to show our children that they can achieve and that there are immense opportunities available to them. So we enjoyed watching that together. And then we watch other funny videos that come over Instagram or others, and just sharing that time together.
That is wonderful. I've heard of ABCs of the Bible or ABCs of school, but I think I'm going to take to our dinner table ABCs of career opportunities. I love that. Felicia Church, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. And I enjoyed seeing you and hearing from my other colleagues in the background.
All right. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with closing thoughts. We are so glad you shared your time with us today. It is our hope that you enjoyed today's show. If you or someone you know is a caregiver and supporting school-age children during this time this global pandemic, Fulton County has a host of available resources for you. Hopefully, we piqued your interest in spending more quality time with your grandchildren or your loved ones. Get to know their love languages. It may be a sense of touch or quality time or giving, but whatever it is, now is the time for you to make that intergenerational connection. The Department of Senior Services exists to support independence, help, and delay cognitive decline through programs for seniors, caregivers, and the community. We accomplish this by providing programs in group and individual settings through preventive, intervention, and supportive services. We welcome your feedback and the opportunity to speak with you further about all of our services. For more information, give us a call at 404-613-6000 or email us at seniorservices@fultoncountyga.gov. You may also follow us on Twitter at Fulton Info. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Connect, powered by the Department of Senior Services.